Why am I doing an episode inside of a laundromat? Poor lighting, poor audio. This must be an incredible message. And that's exactly right. I had to get this message to you. I was up in a beautiful cafe overlooking the harbor of Crescent City, California, just outside the Redwood Forest. And guess what? I had to kind of whisper because there's people all around. I had to go somewhere where I could literally transfer this energy inside of me to you. So in this episode, I'm going to share with you 3 very important mindset lessons that are going to change the way that you're doing your business. Don't miss this episode. So here we are, Crescent City, California, me and my family. We come into the park. I've been telling my little kids all morning, get up, we gotta go. These are gonna be the tallest trees in the world, you guys. And as we're coming into the park, the trees were not that spectacular. Like honestly, as we're coming in, they were not that big. And my 6-year-old tells me, she said, Dad, these trees, they're not the biggest in the world. They're not that big at all. And I'm like, looking at her, I'm like, she's right. Have I oversold this? And what I realized, you guys, is I was coming in, is it took a while to get deeper into the park. Once I got in there and we were looking at these trees, you could not see the top of them. Like they just went up forever, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of feet in the air. This was the mindset lesson for me, is that sometimes when we first come into something, we aren't getting the results that we want. I could have turned back there and said, this is bogus. Like this is not what I had anticipated. And that's honestly what most people do. They get partway into something, they start to get the results that they think are the big results. They think that this is what they've been waiting for, and it's not what they've been waiting for. Most people have everything they need to succeed, they just don't do it for long enough. So my request to you around mindset is just don't stop, just keep going. It's gonna get bigger, it's gonna get better, don't slow down. That's mindset lesson number 1. Mindset lesson number 2 is I'm standing next to these gigantic trees. I thought to myself, these used to be a seed that somebody could hold in their fingertips. And now they are literally like the biggest things on planet Earth. Like you think about this, like they used to be a seed. So how does this apply to you? Is that there are attributes, there are projects, there are relationships right now that are so tiny, they're inconsequential. But if you put your effort into it over time, you give it time, you keep working it, you give it the nutrients that it needs. You give it the air, you give it the water, you give it the soil. With projects, with relationships, it's not air, water, and soil. It's love, it's attention, it's effort, it's expertise, it's knowledge. When you put this kind of effort into things, you know what happens? Is something turns into something magnificent, much bigger than you've ever thought. But don't discount it because it has to start off as a seed. And don't not put effort into it because it's gonna take time. The payoff will be bigger than you could ever imagine, but you have to put in the effort right now. You have to put in the time right now, okay? That's lesson number 2, is that everything great was once a seed. Inside of you is absolute significance. You don't realize how great you can become. You don't realize how much potential is inside of you. It's way bigger than you ever imagined. Lesson number 3, I'm driving along this road. There's no guardrails. Down below me is probably a 50 to 100 foot cliff down to a stream. And as I'm driving, I thought to myself, ooh, I kind of want to look down there. That's kind of a freakish thought. But I knew if I looked down there, guess what? My van would follow. My family's inside of this van. Because what you are looking at right now is where you are headed. So if you are focused right now on all the things that are not good in the market, the things that aren't good in your business, guess what? Your eyes will follow that. So stop looking at disaster. Stop looking at all the headlines that, by the way, the headlines are designed to cause you to look at them like they're scary, right? They're bad. And that's why they do it, is because news outlets are not in the business of informing you. They're in the business of scaring you and of alerting you and of getting your attention. They're in the business of selling ads, period. And they know the way to get you to look at their platform is to show you the sensationalized reality of what's happening out there. So be very careful as to where you want to look. If you want to have a successful business, right? If you want to have success in your life and in your business, look at those people, look at those things that you want, and naturally you will go towards them. Don't look at the disaster down below. Don't think about and focus on the things that aren't good, that aren't right, because they will just expand in your life.